Hello, everyone out there in the Facebook universe. How are you all doing? I'm Asia Davis Isbell, and I've got Catherine Sabara and Abba Chelpe with me today. Hope you're all doing very well. If you're jumping on with us, please say hi or give us a thumbs up or something so we know you're with us. We like to interact with you as we're on these videos, and I realize that I'm a little off center, so maybe that's better. Today we want to talk about and actually give you some very practical tips and tools on how to get and build rapport with people on LinkedIn and actually get people to respond to you so that you can get referrals. That's the whole point of networking, right? So I'm just going to ask the one question to both Kathy and Abba. What is your most practical tip to get people to respond to you on LinkedIn? And I don't know who wants to start. I know you both are probably dying to jump in, but why don't I start with Abha first?
Okay. So hi, everybody. Thanks, Aisha, for the question.
Sure.
So the first things first, I wouldn't personally help a stranger on LinkedIn. We're all super busy. We all see emails and, as we go on our phone. So my most practical tip is that try and get your message heard, try to build some rapport, add some value instead of directly asking, oh, you posted the job. What does it mean? Do you have more information? Instead, you could say, oh, I saw your LinkedIn profile. It looks really interesting. I think we went to the same college or some commonality. Mm-hmm. And then when they respond to you, maybe in the second message, you say, oh, you know what? I also noticed this job posting that you did. Would you be willing to give me a little more information about that? Mm-hmm. And then maybe the person will always respond to you and your message won't get lost in the hundreds that he or she gets.
Mm-hmm. And actually, literally yesterday, I had somebody that I've never met who didn't really show up in any mutual connections with me reach out to me on LinkedIn. And he gave me a 2-sentence message. And he picked up on one of my one of the things I'm most passionate about. And he mentioned it and said, I think we have this in common. I'd like to connect. And I literally said, I'd love to. I'd love to talk about that particular thing with you sometime. So finding something that someone is extremely passionate about, that they've written about on their LinkedIn, and then saying that you think you have that in common is a really good way to get somebody's attention. And you've hit on that exact thing. So thanks, Abba. Kathy, some of your practical tips?
All right. Well, kind of building on what Abba was saying, you can even make it more simpler for yourself and start by connecting with people that you already know. You probably already have a network out there that you don't even realize. Mm. And why not start building rapport with people that you already know? Maybe you've gone to school together, but you haven't talked in a few years. Maybe now they're working in a company that interests you. Maybe they're a friend of a friend, mm-hmm. and you can ask for an introduction. That's just a really easy way to get the conversation going and to make it easier for yourself.
Yeah,
that would be my first tip. The second thing would be to be consistent. So networking is a lot about consistency. So you can reach out to someone once and have, a good conversation, but then if you don't talk to that person again in 6 months, and then all of a sudden you want to ask a favor, it's going to seem a bit disingenuous. So what you want to do is be consistent in the number of times you speak with that person. And I'm not saying, email them every single day. That will drive them crazy. But maybe once a month, maybe every few weeks, you can kind of continue to build that rapport depending on that person's relationship to you and how they're responding. Yeah. And also, don't be afraid if that person doesn't respond. You can always follow up with that person. Again, not following up every day, but maybe following up every couple weeks. And maybe trying to email them at different times of the day. So if you think about them, if you send them a message at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, that's going to get buried in all of the other messages that they're receiving that day.
And their work, right?
Exactly.
You guys have to realize the context within the person that you're reaching out to mm-hmm. is in. If they are currently working and in a job, they're not going to be looking at LinkedIn messages throughout the day.
Right. They need to log into LinkedIn outside of their normal business emails.
Yeah.
So this is a whole other thing that they have to do. So why not try reaching out to them over the weekend or in the evening, where maybe they just happen to be on their phone and they see that a message from LinkedIn pops up, and it's super easy for them to answer.
Yeah.
To really think about these small things and make it easier for them.
Yeah. And in fact, I think if I could get into the heads of many of our folks here that might be joining us, some of you might be thinking, well, I don't want to email them in the evening or the weekend because that's bothering them. I want that thought to disappear from your head, right? Because you have to think about when it is they're actually going to get their eyeballs on your message, right? So please be smart and strategic about that. I think that is such a super practical tip that a lot of people don't realize. But I didn't know if you had any other tips that you wanted to share, maybe bouncing off of that, or
yeah, just a tiny thing. I mean, what Kathy said is so important. Like the right time. You always have to be there at the right time, otherwise you don't hit it. The other small thing is that you always want to make it super simple for them. Like if you write a really long message, nobody's gonna read it. Like I myself only scan or trim to it, and maybe I miss the most important part. So maybe you just want to have a really nice 2 or 3 liner, but that's it. And it could be an invitation message. It could be a follow-up message. And when you have the rapport, what I said earlier, then maybe in your 4th message, you could say, oh, you know what? I would like to tell you a little more about myself. And here it is if you are interested. So make it super easy and simple for them to read. So that'll get you the response.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I do want to mention that we did have a blog come out earlier this week that, let me just pull this up so I don't get the title wrong, because I hate it when I do that. 7 tips to writing LinkedIn messages for rewarding job referrals. So you're actually going to see some of the tips that we talked about within that blog, but there are a whole bunch of others, including some kind of personal stories and how to sort of overcome some of the challenges on reaching out to people on LinkedIn. So we will post that in the comments to this video afterwards. The one thing I guess that maybe I would like to just end on, and then I'll see if the 2 of you ladies want to mention this, is please don't put all your eggs in one basket. Please take the time to really reach out to a lot of people. And although you can build confidence and also build rapport with people you already know that your 2nd and 3rd connections are extremely important. And something like 35% of job referrals actually come through 2nd and 3rd connections, or connections that were originally 2nd and 3rd connections. So start, obviously, to build your confidence with your first, but please don't be afraid to go beyond that, because people that are in your first connections are kind of in the smaller sphere around you, and they may not know a broader sense of some of the jobs that are out there, right? So please do not be afraid to broaden your reach. Again, you're really going to have to strive to find commonalities and build rapport with those folks, but I know that you can do that, and it's extremely critical. Any other comments from the 2 of you on that, or anything else?
Along those lines, I would just say, don't be discouraged. Not everyone will respond to you. That's just the way it is. Some people simply don't use LinkedIn. Some people just simply don't reply to messages, and that's okay. That's why, as Asia said, you broaden your reach. You keep reaching out to people. You just don't depend on that one person to be the person that's going to get you a job. So just keep working at it. And the blog is great for tips. You can also post scripts, and we can help you through it. And just keep working at it.
And actually, we have a networking scripts ebook. Exactly. That's free for you guys. So we can also post the link to that in the comments. You guys can get that. Those are scripts that our associates have used. So
those are super useful. I use them.
And I actually use them sometimes too. So it's not just for folks that we help. I do it as well. So with that, thank you both very much for jumping on with me. And thank you to all of you viewers out there. I see a couple thumbs up and likes. I really appreciate your time very much. And I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about what we said or about the blog itself that we'll post here in a minute, please don't hesitate to ask. We're here to help you. So until, I guess, next week, when we're back on live with you as a team, have a great week. Let us know if you need anything. And I thank the both of you ladies. Thanks, Catherine and Abba. Appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.